summit, we can expect the war in Afghanistan to dominate much of the talk. The Afghans have demanded more than $4 billion for their security forces after the U.S. and NATO withdraw most troops in 2014 as scheduled, and we could get stuck with most of the bill. Joining us now, the former intelligence officer for the Office of the Treasury's Defense Secretary, Mike Barrett. He's now the CEO of the security consulting firm Diligent Innovations. Easy for me to say. Good to see you, Mike.
How you doing, Shep?
Where are we now?
Well, I mean, I think normally what happens is these things are pretty scripted, so we don't really make a lot of news at these types of events. But one of the things that happened is with the recent change of government in France, that the French are actually going to pull out early. And that's going to put a lot of pressure on the other democratic allies within NATO to have to be responsive to their street, you know, to their public as well. One of the things that's kind of unusual here is nobody really likes the policies that we have ongoing. And so across NATO, you see the same thing that we see in the U.S., where the people pretty much want out. Everybody wants a good, positive outcome, but nobody thinks we can get there. And everybody knows it's going to cost billions and billions of dollars and take decades. And so they're going to pass the hat. They're going to try to raise some money. We probably won't hit the targets we have. The things that we do get pledged won't get paid, and we're going to get stuck with the bill.
But the idea here is to set the targets for size and scope of the withdrawal, which is going to be much more significant, it would appear, than just a year ago when NATO was planning this.
True. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's not an easy thing to take that number of troops out of a place, particularly when there's still not really, you know, safety and security on the ground. And so there's going to be a lot of security vacuums. There's handovers. It takes a long period of time. And again, the hard part is the optics, because all of the nations, the U.S. and the rest of NATO, are really going to be interested in trying to be able to say it's peaceful and that we're leaving and that everything's going to be calm and stabilized. And, you know, and it's unlikely that that's the reality. It's
certainly not the reality now. And the president just signed a deal with the Afghan president, Hamid Karzai, which is always a shot in the dark, to commit us really for a decade after we get out of there, billions and billions and billions of dollars that we don't have.
It's pretty stunning. I mean, you know, you think about it, Congress is supposed to kind of make those kinds of decisions. And Congress has really been absent in terms of whether or not we should be in this war, how long we're going to stay in it, those sorts of things. I think at some point, you know, when the dust settles between Iraq and Afghanistan and some of the other problems, we're going to have to get back to answering some of those constitutional questions. Now that we have such a significant economic debt and, you know, we've got sequestration coming to the Department of Defense, we're really going to have to start having some budgets and some debates about the priorities of the nation.
Overdue. Mike Barrett, good of you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right. Well.